Just when you thought things really couldn't get any lower for the New York Jets, they go ahead and lose 5 in a row to the 1-6 New England Patriots. And it's fitting. There are so many things that I think were so fitting about this game, starting with the fact that PSL holders got their invoices on Wednesday, and now you're talking about another season that's down the drain, 2-6 before October. So good luck getting your money back, season ticket holders. I know I'm not. But even beyond that, the fact that 2 weeks ago, and you can go back to the video that I did after the game, after the Buffalo Bills game, where Kinlaw had 3 penalties in a row, nothing happened to him. Clemens gets beat on the final play of the game. He's had issues all season. Ever since he's been a Jet, he's had issues with undisciplined penalties. Happens again today. Kinlaw, another penalty, happens today. But even bigger was the fact that you had a kicker that cost you 2 straight games. At 2-5, or 2-4, you want to keep going back week by week, you can't afford to keep blowing games because of your kicker. And I said it at the time. What do you say if you're Jeff Ulbrich to the rest of that locker room if your team plays well enough? And the Jets by no means played well today, but they still played well enough against a 1-6 Patriots team where if their kicker makes an extra point and a field goal, the Jets win the game. The fact that we have managed to flush 3 games because we don't have a kicker in a win-now season, it's disgraceful. It is honestly disgraceful. What in the hell did the Jets fire Robert Saleh for if Jeff Ulbrich is just going to be an extension of everything that we had seen with Saleh if you're going to talk about accountability? At the very least, you had responsibilities spread out. The defense played much better the first 5 games than we've seen over the last 3 weeks. It's becoming a staple of the Jeff Ulbrich defense already, blowing games late. What did you fire Saleh for? Ulbrich's not holding anybody accountable. Kinlaw penalty, he stays out. Clemens penalty, he stays out there. Zerline misses, keep trotting him out. What's the difference? Except the fact that now you have an inexperienced head coach still calling plays as defensive coordinator, and he looks completely lost. But we're going to take a hard look at everything. Gave that quote about 5 times. This was the Jets' great week of practice. The fact that you had to burn 3 timeouts on your first 2 drives to avoid delay of games on your scripted plays is fucking embarrassing. How does that happen? And these aren't young guys on offense. This is a veteran-led offense. How are they constantly breaking the huddle with 12 seconds left? Rodgers still calling audibles with 2-3 seconds left. And then the one time where it actually made sense to burn a timeout, late in the game, you score a touchdown, 2-point conversion, you have 2 timeouts left, there's 3 minutes left in the game. What could Ulbrich possibly be saving those timeouts for? Once that clock is hitting 2-1, you call timeout. Instead, the Jets are trying to get their 2-point conversion from the 7-yard line. And of course, they throw it short. This team is a complete joke. Everything I've been saying every week as far as just being unlikable, not having an identity, not having a culture. Well, I mean, they have a culture. It's a losing culture. But nobody is able to step up. And I agree with Ulbrich on one thing. I don't think it was the energy today. The energy was there. There was a different look at times on the sideline. And yet they still found a way to lose. Special teams was a disaster. Not just the field goals, or the missed field goals and extra point, the 61-yard return. So many things with this team. It's just, we're here again, another season before October, and the season is over. And like I was saying at the beginning, so fitting as season ticket holders that we got our invoices, plenty of time to cancel now going into next year. I'll never tell anybody how to spend their money, but you know what? If you still want to go to games, buy tickets on the secondary market, because what are you paying up front for? Tickets are half what you paid for already right now. The price I paid for 300 level seats, I can get seats in the 100 level now if I wanted to go, which I don't. There is 0 perks to being a season ticket holder. You haven't had a home playoff game in 2 decades. You haven't been in the playoffs in 14 years. So I could care less if other teams are collecting their money early. The Jets are in a very uniquely different situation as far as their history of losing. And they still want to raise prices 3 of the last 4 years. This organization from top to bottom is a complete joke. And I also said it at the time. When Woody Johnson made that decision to fire Saleh, you can argue Saleh maybe wasn't the answer, but he certainly wasn't the biggest problem. If you were going to fire him, it should have been done last year, or you at least ride it out after he makes the decision to change offensive coordinator. The fact he made that decision without consulting anybody, not Joe Douglas, not anybody else within the organization, not having a pulse of the locker room as far as what's going on, him taking it upon himself to think he knows what's going on the football field, this organization, top to bottom, is a friggin' train wreck. Talk to you guys later.